Making sense of politics and the cultural divide from a different perspective. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant on News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, hello, citizens. It's a great day in the USA. It's Thursday, again, the eve of the weekend. And we're here advancing the cause of American liberty and freedom. I'm C.L. Bryant, and this is America on the Edge. Well, you'll not live on the edge, you'll have the edge. And we're broadcasting from within the borders of the greatest success story the world has ever known, the United States of America. And we invite you to stay a while. Here with me is my co-host, Stephen Parr. Stephen, tell the folks what we have in the lineup for them today.
We have another packed show here. It seems like there's always new stuff to be talking about. We're going to go back to St. Louis and talk about what's happened in Ferguson. There's been some new developments today. Just breaking news, the Highway Patrol is going to start getting involved in this. Yeah. And we'll be talking about that. Also talking about how the president's responding to it and how other people are responding to the crisis that's out there.
Yeah, it's bubbling over out there.
And there doesn't seem to be any stop to it.
No.
We're also going to be talking with Matt Kibbe from FreedomWorks.
CEO and president of an organization that I love.
And very excited. We'll talk to him about what it's like to talk to Bill Maher.
Matt, there's a lot more we're going to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot more we'll talk about than that.
Yeah.
But we're also going to talk about who the president is not talking to. There are more and more groups of people that have created this president. Yeah. And they're now getting the silent treatment.
They seem to be incredibly frustrated. Even those in his camp, as you're alluding to, and certainly those of us outside of his camp, their experience, we're all at the same time converging on frustration with the administration.
You know what's a frustrating game? Golf. Let's get into the buzz.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
The reason I bring up golf, the president is on pace to pass up Tiger Woods in the number of rounds he's played since he was elected in 2009. President, not Tiger Woods. Since he came into office.
Tiger may have made a better president.
Well, there's still time. The president has played 200 rounds of golf since he was elected.
Folks, I mean, you can't make this up. This is real stuff. He's on pace to play more golf than a professional golfer.
Tiger's played in that same time 269 rounds. So amazing. Now with Tiger's back injury,
slowed him down.
It's going to slow him down. And the president, while he's at Martha Vineyard, has been playing golf about a round a day on average.
Of course, I hear his slice slows him down, so he's not good at it.
It certainly slows me down. Not his slice, mine. But yeah, the president's about to pass up Tiger Woods.
You just can't. I can't wrap my mind around that, man. I really can't, because he spends his time. That's what he loves.
Yeah,
he doesn't love the job. He loves playing golf and flying around on our plane. That's what he loves.
And I also wonder, you talk about loving the job. I don't know if George W. Bush loved the job.
Probably not.
But he felt driven to do it.
He seemed to love the country.
Yes.
Obama, see, that's the problem, Stephen. That's the problem.
There it is.
The president doesn't seem to really love and I'm not calling him unpatriotic. I know all of you. No, he doesn't appear to love the country because he doesn't do those country, those love of country things.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's an interesting point of view. I like it. It leads us to our question of the day. POTUS Golf, who has a better handicap than the President Barack Obama? I think our general manager may.
Was he about a 118 or something?
Yeah, he might have a better handicap than the president. I certainly do not. But let us know. Give us a call, 318-320-KEEL. Who's got a better handicap than the president? You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge, By the way, that Twitter thing is really getting hot out there. See how my dad who's into his seventh decade, has joined Twitter now.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's amazing.
We've been talking about Robin Williams and the passing of Robin Williams this week, and I ran across something I wanted to share with folks. You know Coco, the sign language gorilla?
Yeah, I remember Coco.
Okay.
I don't know her personally.
So Robin Williams and Coco met 13 years ago and actually became friends. Listen to this is from a PSA Robin Williams was doing 13 years ago.
I recently had a mind-altering experience communicating with a gorilla. Her name is Coco. We shared something extraordinary. Laughter. Coco understands spoken English and uses over 1,000 signs to share her feelings and thoughts about daily events. Life, love, even death. It was awesome and unforgettable.
You know, Stephen, that is very poignant. The very words life, love, and even death.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they told Coco that Robin Williams had passed away.
Of course, through sign.
And through sign language. And the gorilla's eyes started to water up with tears.
That is amazing.
And her bottom lip started to stick out and was quivering, and she made the sign for cry lip.
Well, surely the ape is, in fact, a higher intelligence. And any time you can teach one to sign, as obviously this one did, it leads you to believe that, there is an understanding there. Maybe not the spark that we have, but surely there is definitely a higher intelligence.
If you get a chance to check out the video online, it's really pretty powerful stuff. Speaking of powerful, up in Wisconsin, Sheriff David Clark Jr. has won re-election, just won 52-48. Michael Bloomberg, the mayor out of New York, was campaigning heavily against him, poured a whole bunch of money into the campaign for Sheriff Clark's opponent, and that all lost. Here's why Bloomberg was so opposed to the sheriff. Listen to his announcement or a commercial that the sheriff ran back in February.
I'm Sheriff David Clark, and I want to talk to you about something personal, your safety. It's no longer a spectator sport. I need you in the game. But are you ready? With officers laid off and furloughed, simply calling 911 and waiting is no longer your best option. You can beg for mercy from a violent criminal, hide under the bed, or you can fight back. But are you prepared? Consider taking a certified safety course and handling a firearm so you can defend yourself until we get there. You have a duty to protect yourself and your family. We're partners now. Can I count on you?
This safety message brought to you by the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
You know, Stephen, I haven't met him, but I'm going to. We're going to have him on this show. Elaine, get him on the show. And I tell you something, he's my kind of guy, because I'm telling you, it is time now that we all consider the fact that we can't go out cowering from violent criminals when they're coming over the border in droves. This is America on the Edge. I'm CL Bryant, along with Stephen Parr, and we will return in a minute.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
The Italians are not the only lovers of pizza, but just to make the Johnny's Pizza House experience more authentic for you, we invite you to be Italian. We'll whisk you far, far away to a land of romance and squisito Italian pizza. A 12-inch for just $12.99 begins your journey. Our new bacon and tomato pizza seasoned with Johnny's special Italian blend. Enjoy, no. Goodere Johnny's bacon and tomato pizza today. Johnny's Pizza House. Taste the best.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
If you're in need of a good plumber, perhaps you need work on your heater, or especially right now with cooling and refrigeration systems. If If you need help, give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Byrne. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get 'em, CL.
The declining Sparta aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. We continue to use 25 million gallons a day more than our Sparta can sustain. Every year, the water level continues to drop and the water quality continues to erode. Please do your part and conserve our precious water resource. Conserving water doesn't require a major change in lifestyle. It just takes a little common sense. Be Sparta smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
The home of Rush Limbaugh. Weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 710 Keel.
These senators do not want to control immigration. They want to expand it. Wealth will be redistributed from the middle class to a new class of poor. And what we're actually doing is importing poverty in order to enhance big government.
Rush right here on your news and weather station. News Radio 710 Keel. Getting it said for the architects. News Radio 710 Keel. Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge. Billy, are you okay? Are you okay? We're talking about the president has been golfing. Our question of the day: who has a better handicap than the POTUS? Let us know. Give us a phone call, 318-320-KEEL.
Yes, call in, and all we ask from any of you is to tune us in 1 hour a day.
That's all.
5 days a week. That's all we're asking.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
And have them sit with you and listen to it.
That's all we're asking.
Okay, so we're talking about St. Louis, actually Ferguson. Again, there was rioting and violence again last night as what started off as a peaceful protest last night once again turned violence as there were rocks thrown at police, Molotov cocktails thrown at police, and then police responded by throwing out tear gas and clearing the streets.
It's getting ugly, and all the familiar players are beginning to show up on the playing field, Stephen. And I tell you something, this is going to get much worse before it gets better.
You get that feeling. You just don't get the feeling that there's any calm. And actually, reports out right now that, again, hundreds of people are gathering in Ferguson right now for another protest. Governor Jay Nixon, Missouri governor, announced this afternoon that the Highway Patrol, the Missouri Highway Patrol, is going to take over the policing in Ferguson. They're not replacing the police officers in the Ferguson Police Department,
right,
but they're going to start leading it to see if they can do a better job with some of the optics of how they're handling it.
One of the interesting things about his move there is he's bringing in a fellow by the name of Ron Johnson, who is a captain there in the Highway Patrol, and he's black. Now, what's interesting about this is this. Over the last 30 years, you've had white flight take place in that community.
In Ferguson.
But it has not occurred as far as demographics are concerned on the police force.
Right.
In 1980, you had an 80% white population in Ferguson. Now you have a 70% black population in Ferguson, and you have less than 6% representation on the police force. Not excusing any actions of any individuals acting crazy and rioting, but believe it or not, that does have an effect on that situation.
It certainly does, at least from a perspective, a public relations perspective.
Right.
It certainly has some effect. The president has finally held a press conference about this today from Martha's Vineyard. He went to an elementary school and set up a little curtain and talked in front of an American flag. And he said that here in the United States, this is a quote from the president, here in the United States of America, police should not be bullying or arresting journalists who are just trying to do their jobs. This comes after 2 journalists were arrested last night by Ferguson police officers. And I've watched the video of one of the arrests there, and I've seen some clips of the other one. And I end up agreeing with Joe Scarborough from MSNBC. I want you to listen to what Joe Scarborough said on his show yesterday on MSNBC about the arrest of the reporters in Ferguson.
If I saw that video and my son was the one that the police arrested after that episode, I'd say, Joey, here's a clue. When the cops tell you for like the 30th time, let's go, you know what that means, son? It means let's go.
You know, I agree with Joe there, too. In a very tense situation like that, here we are, we're media. We go in on circumstances. Of course, when I travel, I'm in those type situations a lot.
Right.
And let me tell you something. The police come by and they say, hey, want you to move along in a tense situation like that. I may be impeding his work.
Right.
It's time to move on.
And there's a difference between a reporter who comes in from out of town
right.
and a reporter who's local. These were reporters coming in from out of town. Now, if you're local and this is your beat,
yeah,
you develop personal relationships with some of the police officers in that area.
Yeah.
Maybe not in a city as large as St. Louis or in a community that large, but certainly here and in markets that I've worked in, you make a relationship with those police officers. And so you get a little extra leeway. If they ask you to move, you get a little bit of time to joke around. But if I'm in a market I'm not familiar with, there is – I don't have any leeway because I haven't developed a relationship. You just got to say yes, sir, and move on.
And in fact, a lot of times, so many situations with the police, and I know police officers around the country, that's all that's necessary is a little bit of common respect.
Yeah.
That's all that's necessary to keep the whole lid on things. Now, we still don't know what happened here, and there's a lot of people still jumping into conclusions about so forth and so on. But it is time now for cooler heads to prevail.
Cooler heads, you say?
Cooler heads.
I'm not sure that's what we're getting. I think we're getting hotter heads. Listen to Representative John Lewis, and listen if this is a cooler head or a hotter head. You tell me.
President Obama should use the authority of his office to declare martial law. Federalize the Missouri National Guard to protect people as they protest.
You have John Lewis, who I'm very surprised at that he want martial law on this, although I do understand that his life had been protected from those who would have harmed him back when he was a civil rights marcher. But in this particular situation, I see John Lewis, I see the NAACP, and I see Al Sharpton all trying to blow this particular situation into something much more, way beyond what it should become.
There's no way you get cooler heads when you have rioters and protesters throwing Molotov cocktails at Ferguson police who are heavily armored, heavily weaponized, and in between them, you throw the National Guard.
Do it.
How's that going to help?
The visual is all wrong.
The visual's very wrong.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's okay to throw the National Guard into Missouri, but not Texas along the border.
No.
I find that interesting.
And you know what? It's amazing, Stephen. And that's a very good point that you just brought up. Here we are being basically invaded.
Yeah.
And so the National Guard's good in that situation, but the National Guard is not good in another.
Now, the NAACP, you just brought them up. They went to the United Nations. Representatives of the NAACP went to the United Nations and said, hey, you've got to investigate the United States of America because of Ferguson.
Does that make any sense? Now, folks, I want you to hear what has just been said. Again, this is a grasp for relevance here.
Yeah,
Stephen.
The NAACP went to a committee meeting for the UN in Switzerland and said you have to investigate the United States of America because of the racial problems in Ferguson, Missouri.
No, don't do that.
Of course not.
And NAACP, again, why they did this once before. I can't remember off the top of my head the circumstances that surrounded it. But the NAACP wants also to make this a one world type of situation.
Exactly.
Now the president is also of that one world type of mindset. Folks, leave the UN out of our business. Leave all of them out.
Absolutely.
Of our business.
We need to handle our business.
Yeah.
You don't go tattling.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're going to ask Yemen.
As though you're not a citizen.
We're going to ask Yemen to check out our racial tolerance.
Right. As though you yourself are not a citizen of this country.
Right.
And we can't talk to each other.
That you're absolutely right. The United Nations has no sovereignty over the United States of America.
None.
But every member of the NAACP has sovereignty here in this country because we're all citizens.
Exactly. And so you see the play here.
Yeah.
The play is to bring in some outside, actually a foreign entity. to solve a dilemma in Ferguson, Missouri. Man, I tell you what, that old saying about Missouri, just show me.
Just show me.
I mean, man, this is not good.
I wonder if this type of play, this type of problem, if this type of the way the NAACP is responding to, the way Democrats are responding to this, isn't driving more people to Republicans, people you may not suspect. I want to play a clip here from Gary Cobb. He was a running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I've never liked the Eagles, but that's because I'm a Cowboy fan.
Hear, hear.
But I want you to listen to what Gary Cobb, the former NFL player, said.
How'd you become a Republican? Were you always a Republican?
Well, I didn't realize I was a Republican. You know, I grew up as a kid. I was born down in North Carolina and came up. We moved north, big family. And during that time, that was during the 60s, and Lyndon Baines Johnson was putting in his Eliminate Poverty program. Well, I saw my cousins. I saw them get on the program. When they would come to our house, my mom and dad would tell them, look, you know, my dad would show them the door. He said a man belongs with his home because belongs with his family, because he felt that, they shouldn't go that way, because in order to get on the program, the man had to leave the home. And this was during the 60s. And we saw what happened.
And they did see. I saw what happened back in those days, Stephen. And let me tell you something. There was obviously core values that black people displayed that were definitely conservative. They have not gone away, although there are certain factions in this country, like the NAACP going to the UN, wanting them to intervene in Ferguson.
That's not a conservative policy.
That's not a conservative policy at all, and it's not one that most black people, if they understood the play in it, would actually go for. And so, folks, America is on the edge, and certainly the world seems to be on fire. This is CL Bryant. We'll be back in a minute with Matt Kibbe.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
It's a summer sizzler showcase. You could win a $5,000 gift card to any Louisiana Boardwalk store, including Bass Pro Shops. Presented by the outlets at Louisiana Boardwalk. Look online to win at 710keel.com.
SB Magazine, North Louisiana's premier publication, is your source for local entertainment, home decor ideas, gardening information, fashion trends, and seasonal gift guides. Every month we take you behind the scenes at some of Shreveport-Bossier's most fun events in Ion SB. And you'll find SB Magazine everywhere. But the best way to make sure you have the most current issue is to subscribe. It's just $16 for 12 months. Call Debbie today or go to our website, sbmag.net. SB Magazine, the pulse of Shreveport-Bossier.
8 years ago, Louisiana Power Sports opened for business in Houghton. Well, a lot has happened since then. Louisiana Power Sports has grown into the #1 exclusive Polaris dealer in the South, and we're still growing. Louisiana Power Sports is now open in our big new building on Benton Road, just 1/2 mile north of I-220 in Bossier City. Over 30,000 square feet with a bigger showroom holding more new Polaris ATVs and side-by-sides than ever. A huge new state-of-the-art service department and more parts and accessories. Come see the new store, say hi to everyone you know, and see and test drive the new 2015 Polaris models. Louisiana Power Sports says thank you, Louisiana, thank you, Arkansas, thank you, Texas, for 8 great years in Houghton, and invites you to come see us in our big new location, now open at 3715 Benton Road, 1/2 mile north of I-220 in Bossier City.
Louisiana Power Sports, get ready to ride.
LouisianaPowersports.com.
Hello, I'm Alice Foster. If you're a woman 65 or older and you love your family like I do, please think about this. You're an important part of your family's life, but your risk of getting breast cancer increases as you get older. Call your doctor for a mammogram now. Medicare pays for most of the cost, and it's the most important step we can take to ensure precious time with our loved ones. I work hard to fight breast cancer. Please join me. A mammogram is the best gift you can give. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family.
This is Jim Lucas with Don't Major on the Minor, number 491 of 1001 Ways to Connect with Your Kids. Pick up your toys. Watch what you're doing. Don't spill your milk. Your clothes don't match. Eat your peas. Mom and Dad, are you nagging yourself right out of a relationship with your kids? Don't major on the minors. Major on the majors, building a healthy bond with a mature, spiritually rooted child.
From Tyndale House, 1001 ways to connect with your kids.
Let me cut through all of the noise.
Rush is on every weekday from 11 to 2.
It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind.
Right here on your news and weather station.
Where consumers of hard news go.
On News Radio 710 Keel. 710 Keel. 710 Keel. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr. On News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, welcome back, folks. This is CL Bryant, America on the Edge, along with Stephen Parr. And joining us now live is the CEO and president of FreedomWorks in Washington, D.C. He is Matt Kibbe, a man that I would follow into any battle to save the liberty and the freedom of our nation. And, Matt, I'm glad to have been a part of that organization now in September, 5 years. Thank you for coming on board today.
Oh, it's an honor to be here. We've been in so many fights together. I wouldn't want to go into battle with anybody else.
Well, thank you, Matt. Matt, you have a book out that has an incredibly interesting title that we want to talk about, and that is Don't Hurt People and Don't Take Their Stuff, Take Their Stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. So many people are starting to take a second look at the values of liberty, and they're looking at the Obama administration, and they know that that's not who they are. They're looking at the Republican Party that sometimes fails to live up to those basic promises that they make in election cycles. But I wanted to write this book because I want a lot of people, regardless of political affiliation or brand or color of your skin, however it is you've been organized, I want you to realize that there are basic American values that go to the core of our founding that bind us together. And it's what your mom taught you. It's what her mom taught her. And I think we're trying to start a conversation, and a lot of people are taking a second look.
Matt, you're working on a project, and CL's obviously been involved with this, empower.org. And I'm looking at empower.org, and I want to read part of the first sentence here because it is critical to American freedom. It says that the freedom movement welcomes any person who believes in economic choice and envisions a future where today's children have a better quality of life than the generation before. Matt, people don't seem to believe that anymore. More and more polls are showing people do not expect the next generation to be better off than the current one. How do you overcome that?
It's the biggest threat, I think, facing our children and our grandchildren. And it has always been the American promise, the thing that actually holds us together, the idea that any of us, no matter who we are, who our parents were, where we come from, who we know in Washington, D.C., that we can get ahead. And that dream is fading. I think freedom is the answer. I think too much of Washington, D.C. is the problem. And it's not just blame doesn't just go to President Obama, although he's exacerbated everything on every level. I think there's a class in Washington, D.C. that takes care of themselves at the expense of the rest of us. That's who we have to beat, and it's going to take a grassroots movement. It's going to take citizens realizing that they have an ownership stake in this country, and it's not just for them, it's for future generations. That's in part what the Tea Party is, but I think it's much broader than that.
Matt, if you could share with us the FreedomWorks philosophy as far as fiscal responsibility is concerned, even though people in this area know about me, know my affiliation as a fellow with the organization, they don't necessarily know what the philosophy of FreedomWorks is. I want them to hear from you because that's where I got my vision of it, is from you. Share with the audience the FreedomWorks philosophy on our approach to America and its policies.
Yeah, we believe greatness in America doesn't come from Washington, D.C. It comes from people solving problems, working hard, working together, and building things from the bottom up. That's why we believe in fiscal responsibility. We have this crazy idea that Washington shouldn't spend money it doesn't have. It should live within its budget. But more important than that, we believe that this idea that anybody can do anything they want as long as they're willing to work for it in America, that's special. That makes us unique. that's what we fight for. And we apply that economic philosophy, if you will, to politics, because we think government goes to those who show up. And for too long, radical progressives, a lot of special interests, people that wanted a special deal from Washington, D.C., have been involved in the political conversation, and the rest of us, with our families and our jobs and just wanting to be left alone, ignored that process. I think that's, as a mission, that's what FreedomWorks' job is. Our job is to help people show up, to serve them if they're willing to volunteer their time and their energy and their voice to that cause. And we're seeing just exponential results. People are showing up, the community is growing, and as I like to say, freedom is trending.
One of the things that has kind of confused me about this whole movement is how it's been received, because it seems like such a simple idea. Freedom works. That's a simple idea. Taxed enough already. Hey, I get it. I'm on board with that. Don't hurt people and don't take their stuff. I can get behind that. The problem is a lot of folks in the media have branded these things as being lunatic fringe, as being crazy out there ideas, as being racist. How did the Tea Party movement get hit with all of that? Why is it stuck, and how do you combat it?
Well, I think we're a threat, and I think whenever citizens know more and engage more, it threatens the political class in Washington, D.C. And part of the problem that citizens who have been under attack, not just by the IRS, but by both political parties, you need to appreciate that the moment you start making a difference, people are going to focus their sights on you. And that's that eternal vigilance that the founders spoke of. They put their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors on the line for an idea. I think we're realizing that doing the same comes at a price. I take it as a badge of honor that they're so visceral in attacking us, because it means that we matter, and I would argue it means we need to double down. I think we need to be smart about it. We need to make sure we don't put our foot in our mouths. We need to make sure that our passions are focused and not unruly. But we've always been quite good about that, and I'm proud to be part of this community.
Empower.org is an arm of FreedomWorks. And, of course, folks out there listening, of course, I've told you this before, but FreedomWorks, all of you who know that I have made the Runaway Slave movie, it was FreedomWorks who, in fact, were my benefactor in doing that. And I certainly do appreciate it. From all of the things that we've done in the last 5 years, Matt, in fact, folks, we've gone to Israel. We actually formed a Tea Party program over there in Tel Aviv, Matt? And we called it Kosher Tea. Now, folks, I tell people that, Matt, and they say, what? Yes, it's really true. It was Kosher Tea. Right, Matt?
Yes, it's grown exponentially. I was actually talking to the founder of Kosher Tea in Tel Aviv a couple days ago, making sure he was okay with the attacks going on over there. They're growing. Liberty is growing everywhere where it gets just a little ray of sunshine, a little ability for people to find out these ideas for themselves. And that's really the idea behind Empower.org. Our attitude is we're reaching out to everybody, and we're not going to let the experts tell us, oh, no, you can't engage this community or that community. We're challenging people to appreciate the very thing that Martin Luther King put on the line, fighting for a colorblind society. I don't care who you are, where you came from, what the color of your skin is. Liberty is the answer. Liberty is the opportunity. And you guys were brave enough to go into the belly of the beast and engage the NAACP on this very subject.
Yes, sir, and we're going to take them on at every turn we can, and the Al Sharptons in the world, and whoever else that may stand in the way of liberty.
Matt, let's see if we can put some of these principles to application, at least theoretical application here. How do you think the principles of FreedomWorks, the principles of the Tea Party, would have changed events in Ferguson, Missouri, with what's going on there now?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to understand that there is such a thing as abuse of power, and we shouldn't trust anybody with unchecked power. And I would be the first to say that the police crossed the line. But you think about this in the context of the March on Washington in 2009. We and the police and the Capitol Hill Police and the National Park Police expected 10,000 people to show up on September 12th. About 1.5 million showed up. Imagine the logistical and the security challenges that created. But instead of starting fights, instead of getting arrested, we said thank you and please. There's a set of rules that come with civil society that allow us to actually cooperate and to get along. And I think that government policies and the lack of individual responsibility that has been corrupted by welfare and all of this stuff, these empty promises that come from government, has undermined the ability of generations to function on a civil basis. I think freedom and responsibility is the answer. Everybody suggests that individualism is about not taking responsibility. I think the opposite is true. You look in the mirror in the morning and say, what did I do to fix that problem?
Folks, we're on and have been on with the president and CEO of FreedomWorks, Matt Kibbe, and we want everyone to know that freedom works for all Americans, regardless of where your station in life, the color of your skin, or your political slant. Freedom works. Matt, God bless and keep you. Thank you so much for being on, and you can bet we're going to see if we can make you a regular.
It's an honor to be on, and I'll show up anytime you call me, CL.
Thanks, Matt. Talk to you soon. This is CL Bryant, America on the Edge. We will be right back.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have to search for the best price on printing or direct mail? Tired of trying to design your own material on some confusing website just to get to the end and it's not that professional look your business needs? Well, stop searching and call Graphic Industries. We've been waiting on your business, ready to help you with your printing and direct mail needs. Graphic Industries offers all types of print, stationery, brochures, flyers, catalogs, door hangers, books, pocket folders, postcards, variable printed letters, and much, much more. Graphic Industries can direct mail for you, too. You can customize a mailing list, target a certain demographic, or just flood the market and get your name in the homes of thousands of potential clients. Lowest prices, best quality, and a faster turn time. Visit us online at graphicindustries.net. or call us today at 318-222-1100. Graphic Industries, the #1 choice of printing and direct mail.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get them, CL.
William F. Duncan doesn't just offer auto, home, and life insurance. He does it with great personal service. William F. Duncan has covered Caddo and DeSoto parishes for over 18 years. Call him today, 318-532-4300. Tell him CL sent you.
Your family deserves a better night's sleep, right? Of course they do. So for a limited time, American Wholesale Mattress is clearing out inventory at 20 to 80% off the retail price. American Wholesale Mattress specializes in mattresses. So let their expert staff help you get a better night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic or the new line of Tempur-Breeze mattresses. Like they say, buy your furniture from a furniture store, but buy your mattress from American Wholesale Mattress in Shreveport on Erie Drive next to Starbucks, and in Bossier on East Texas next to Paper Shack.
Conserving water is mostly a matter of using good common sense. Your porcelain throne is notorious for its hidden leaks, stealing water 24/7. A leaky toilet can waste hundreds of gallons of water a day and go completely undetected. So check your toilet for wear and proper adjustment periodically. The declining Sparta Aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. Do your part for water conservation. Be Sparta smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
When you think Rush Limbaugh, you have to think News Radio 710 Keel.
Also, there was a George Soros-funded think tank called Think Progress. Limbaugh attacks helped put the Chevy Volt workers out of a job. Now, why is it my fault? Well, because I've made fun of the Volt. It's not that the thing costs more than people can afford. It's not for any reason other than me.
You can hear him each weekday right here on News Radio 710 Keel. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr, and we are asking who has a better handicap than the President of the United States. He's on pace to play more golf than Tiger Woods. He's currently vacationing in Martha's Vineyard. He actually, CL, is expected to take a trip back to Washington briefly and then return to Martha's Vineyard to play some more golf.
Play more golf.
But he's taking a little bit of criticism for this. The French Foreign Minister, Laurent Fabius, which in English is Laurent Fabius.
How'd it go, Stephen?
Laurent Fabius, when in France. Anyway, he said, he was talking to reporters, and he said, I know it's the holiday period in our Western countries, Tuesday in France, but when people are dying, you must come back from vacation.
Now, this is the French, folks. The French, isn't it mandatory or something? They take 4
5
or 5
weeks.
weeks.
5
weeks.
Yes.
The French, it's mandatory. It's written right on their forehead that they have to take 5 weeks vacation.
You must take 5 weeks of vacation.
And so when the Clouseau.
Yeah, that's
so when the French starts telling you, your American president, hey, you know what? Maybe you ought to go back to the Oval Office from vacation. There is something really wrong here.
Perhaps you have played enough golf.
You've played enough.
Yeah, you should come back. You're too lazy.
You need to see to your people.
It is interesting. And now notice the French foreign minister was talking to the president, but the president obviously has not talked back to him and has not responded to that. But the interesting part about this to me is that there are a lot of people that have supported the president over the years that helped put him where he is, who are now saying he's not talking to him. In an article on thehill.com, the Democrats, House Democrats especially, are frustrated because they're saying in this election year, the White House is not talking to them. They're saying, and this is a quote from the article, lawmakers say it's difficult to defend President Obama from GOP attacks when he doesn't confer with any of his allies about strategy and intention.
Stephen, you may be too young to remember the old Ali, Joe Frazier, not Joe Frazier, but George Foreman fight.
I remember the grill.
When Ali just leaned on the ropes and let Foreman pound away at him and then came out and knocked Foreman out. I think the Obama is doing a rope-a-dope here until the 2-year period is up and he's out. I think he has checked out as president. I don't think he cares. I think he wants to ride the plane to Martha's Vineyard and wherever else he goes so that he can enjoy the rest of it before he really makes some money when he retires as president of the United States.
Then why bother running for re-election? If that's where you are, why bother? I mean, that's not easy to do.
That was the deal. That was the part of the deal. You're going to be the first black president, and we're going to get you reelected. You're going to be a 2-termer. And I don't care what comes up, they're not going to be able to vote you out because anything they say against you, it's because you're black. It's because don't forget it. It's because you're black. And situations like we're having here in Ferguson right now reinforces that. And even though this time, and we don't know the circumstances, we don't know what happened here, but he is just riding, as far as I can see, and obviously the people that you're talking about, as far as they can see, he's riding it out. They can't even talk to him.
I tell you, it's another reason why I like James K. Polk, president back in the 1800s, won the Mexican-American War, had Texas admitted to the Union. He served 1 term, and he went, I'm done, and he left.
Get out of there.
Didn't bother coming back. So the Democrats in the House, obviously they helped get him elected. He's not talking to them. Another group of people that helped get the president elected was the media.
Yeah. Not talking to them either, huh?
He's not talking to them either. And members of the media are very upset about this. Now, remember at the beginning of the show today, we were talking about how the president said you shouldn't arrest a reporter for just doing their job. Well, they've actually done that. There's a New York Times reporter who has been arrested for doing his job, and the Justice Department wants this guy to talk and spill who his sources are. And the Association of Professional Journalists is suing, saying, hey, you can't do that for this guy.
That's amazing.
You can't do that. And they're delivering a petition of 100,000 signatures to the White House today saying, let that guy go.
So there's an attack, a stifling of the press, of the freedom of the press. Is there a stifling of that going on with this administration? Is that what you're saying?
On the very same day, the president spoke out about the stifling of the press in Ferguson.
He is now stifling the press himself. You know, that is the yin and yang that is Barack Obama. He is a paradox, a walking, talking paradox. And I tell you something else, and we have to do a segment on this maybe tomorrow or sometime, but this president, he believes everything that he says, whether it's true or not.
That's right. That's absolutely.
I've never run anybody like that. Well, I have run into people like that, but they were pathological.
It's almost like the Steve Jobs reality distortion field. People said that everybody believed whatever it was that Steve Jobs said, whether whatever Steve Jobs said was right or not. It just made it reality because Steve Jobs said it. But that was other people believing Steve Jobs. You're saying there's an Obama distortion field where Obama believes what he says.
Absolutely. And I don't know. This cloak of darkness just falls sometimes. But anyway. That's the president we have, and I guess we're going to have to live with it until it's over. But 2 years can be a long, long time.
It really can be.
Folks, America is on the edge for reasons that sometimes and many times we describe to you here today, and all we ask is 1 hour of your time daily. Stephen, that's from 6 to 7. Give them the numbers they can call us.
I'd love to. You can call us 318-320-KEEL. If you'd like to advertise on the show, you can also send us an email ad@AmericaOnTheEdge.
That's live radio, folks, but we're up to the challenge. We'll be right back with America on the Edge.
You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If you're tired of getting nickel and dime for your company's marketing needs, GI Marketing Group can help. We're a new, evolved marketing company with no monthly fees or markups and with quicker response times. With GI Marketing Group, there is no outsourcing. We own the production facilities, everything from print, mail, video, digital, and web designs. We do it all in-house. Call us today at 318-222-1100 to start saving time and money, or visit us online at gimarketinggroup.com.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
Is your house just not cool enough when you walk in from work? You deserve to sit in the cool and comfort of your own home after a long, hard day. Give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Conserving water is mostly a matter of using good common sense. If there's a drip in your home, it can waste a lot of water. A leaky faucet can add from 20 to 40 gallons a day to your water bill. That's literally money going down the drain. Get leaky faucets fixed. The declining Sparta Aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. Do your part for water conservation. Be Sparta smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty back again Friday morning.
A big day for Susan G. Komen. It's Friday in Pink.
A new mayoral candidate.
And the animal control situation heating up.
Find out all about it Friday morning right here on News Radio 710 Keel.
Hi, I'm home. Any mail?
Nothing too exciting. Just David's report card and something from the water company.
Another water bill?
I don't know. I didn't open it.
Oh, David's report card could be better. But this is interesting. The water company sent us a report about the quality of our tap water and where it comes from.
And?
Our water passed all its tests, unlike some people around here.
You'll also be receiving a short new report about your tap water from your water supplier. Look for it, and when it comes, read it. For more information, call your water supplier or 1-877-EPA-WATER.
Getting it said for the Architects. News Radio 710 Keel. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I'm Stephen Parr. If you'd like to advertise on the show, give us a phone call. It's an 855 number, not 800, 855. 855-288-6987. 855-288-6987. 87. CL, there's some news coming out of Iraq after several days of conflict. Nouri al-Maliki was the prime minister, has decided he will actually step down.
Without a fight?
Without a fight, and he's going to allow Haider al-Abadi to take over. And now al-Abadi was elected that prime minister, and so there had been a military standoff, kind of, and then...
I'll tell you what happened.
Tell me what happened.
The Ayatollah, is it Khomeini?
Khomeini.
That's over there.
In
Ayatollah
Iran.
Told Maliki that he was backing Abadi. And Maliki, and he probably told Maliki also that Maliki would be a body if he didn't step down from office. Because Maliki, just yesterday, just 24 hours ago, was saying, I ain't going.
Right.
The Ayatollah steps in and says, I'm backing the other guy. You get out of here.
According to Reuters, what he said today was, I announced before you today to ease the movement of the political process and the formation of the new government, the withdrawal of my candidacy in favor of brother Dr. Haider al-Abadi.
That's a real good way of saying to the Ayatollah, I hear you.
But nobody was supporting Maliki anymore. The United States wasn't. The European Union wasn't.
It's time to step down.
Iran wasn't. He had no friends left.
But he was threatening coups and all that type thing. No way.
And that, of course, would have made the problem with ISIS even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, and I, at this point in time, I'm glad actually that he's gone. I'm glad the Ayatollah actually stepped up. It's an indication that the Ayatollah and everybody over there is tired of ISIS as well.
Yeah, and ISIS doesn't seem to have a whole bunch of friends other than just absolute extremists.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, our question of the day has been, who has a better handicap than the POTUS? Who's better at golf? Who has... At this point, Tiger's back. I don't think Tiger qualifies.
I hadn't been on the links in years, but I'm probably better than he is.
I'm definitely not. But I do wonder why it seems like every golfing picture we have of the president, he's got 1 foot up kind of in the air, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of funny.
This is the way he throws a baseball, too. Anyway, and also that Richard Simmons workout video that he made. Richard wasn't there, but he made that one. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another day. Thank God for it. He's brought us safely through. And we want to thank you for joining us. And as always, Stephen, we want to thank our men and women in uniform who protect our right to speak our mind here behind these microphones. Until we talk to you again, God bless and keep you. We'll see you then.
Keep America strong and living free. They see the damage and the pain,